Okay folks, this is Chris again, checking in for TradeTaxPlus, the second technical video for October 2017. In this short video, we'll just look at section 18B of the VAT Act. Now you may recall that 18B deals with special dispensation for property developers and specifically residential property developers. Now you can't understand section 18B, capital B of the VAT Act unless you understand 18.1. Now what section 18.1 says is if I acquire an asset for taxable purposes and I subsequently use that asset for another purpose, then I'm deemed to have sold that asset for market value and I must account for output tax on the market value of that property, irrespective of the fact that there wasn't an actual sale. So this puts property developers in quite a difficult position. If you develop a property and you can't sell the thing, and it's been for months and months and months, you have to keep the property empty, and because the moment you start renting it out, it becomes an exempt activity and you have to pay output tax on the market value of the property. So 18B was introduced in the VAT Act, which essentially for 3 years suspends the application of section 18.1. So there's no change in use adjustment that needs to be made, or change in application more correctly, that needs to be made at the time that you first rent that out, provided it's a temporary rental. So I'm renting this property out in anticipation and still trying to sell the property ultimately. The moment you take a final decision, no longer will I sell this property, but I will use this property for rental purposes going forward, the dispensation in terms of 18.1 immediately clicks in and you pay the output tax. So this relief has been going on for quite a few years for property developers, but now SARS have stopped that. So the last time it was effective would be for all transactions, and this is important, all rental transactions entered into on or before 31 December 2017. So if you enter into a rental agreement on the 31st of December 2017, then you'll still get the full 3-year benefit of not applying section 18.1 adjustments. At the end of those 3 years, if you're still renting it out, then you have to pay the output tax. If, however, you enter into that rental on 1 January 2018, output tax is payable immediately. So be aware of that. Again, through SAICA, we've asked SARS to consider not extending the application of 18B, but make 18B a permanent feature of the VAT Act. Because the reality of developing property is you develop property, there's not always a ready purchaser for that property. And to just leave that property open and deteriorate and all those bad things that happen to properties, this doesn't make any sense at all. So make this a permanent feature of the VAT Act, in the sense that you always have a 3-year period. We'll see how they respond to that, but as it stands at the moment, the status quo is that the any rentals entered into on or before 1 January 2018 will trigger an 18.1 adjustment immediately. Okay, so that's the bad news. The last video that we'll be looking at is just re-looking at some of those principles of, if you register today, what adjustments can you make in respect of past supplies to you? Because there seems to be quite a bit of uncertainty with regards to that. So have a look at that video. That will be the last one for this November or October versions of the videos. But for now, it's me, Chris, checking out for TradeTaxPlus, Center of Excellence.